Okay, so how much do you feel that the constant images we are fed about relationships and men create disappointment? I have to do a whole episode on this with the men.
That's a
So,
whole
honey, because this fairy tale, every time I wake up, I feel like there is another part of the fairy tale that life is like, get out of, snap out of it, girl. This is
Forget
real
about
life.
it.
You know what I'm saying?
Forget about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, are we resonating with some stuff because it's true to who we are or because it was fed to us? So again, these constant images were fed about relationships and men. Do you feel like that is creating disappointment in you? And the fairy tale that we were sold is BS?
The fairy tale absolutely is BS.
What parts? Like, tell me about what, you know what I mean?
I feel like all of it, like how the from the moment of like when you start to like someone, the dating, the courtship, even the pathway, I think is a fairy tale. The preparation for it is a fairy tale. The what it takes to stay in it is a fairy tale. The what to expect, this idea of some man coming to save a woman is a fairy tale.
Yeah, that's a fairy tale.
You know what I'm saying? Like it just, yeah, no, it's so much of it. Even, parts of the idea of a nuclear family, even some of that is, it can be kind of a fairy tale. You know what I mean? Like,
I understand.
Like it just, especially with knowing just how many people are either not, they're again coming from a product of a blended family, or they're just, from a single parent household, I think that outweighs, the actual nuclear family. And so even though I know I would prefer and have, the nuclear dreams as well, even though I come from a blended family, there's parts of it where it's like some of that can be a fairy tale. I don't even know if it's a fairy tale, but you just reach, life is just basically different than some of the different ideals that I think have been placed on us, and just the standard and the pathway and this linear approach to it all. It doesn't exist.
Yeah. Sometimes I think that the things that we were fed could potentially block blessings. And I only say that because, and I just think about myself. I always like, I'm sorry, I can't date a man with kids, or like I can't do this or I can't do that, because you're and it's like when you're growing up, you're taught like, girl, don't date no man with no more than 2 kids, or da 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 da. And it's like, but that could have been your blessing.
Yeah.
But it's that you were told like that's an abomination. So it's like you did everything you could to block yourself from staying away from those people, when it's like, maybe that's not how it is. Like, maybe you are allowed to talk to people with children and it might be okay. Maybe you won't have the same outcome that your aunt had or that your mom had, or, maybe your situation might be different. But I think we just play into these things that, we were fed, and we just run with it. Like,
Yeah. I mean, because we're just raised like that. You get taught something and that's what it is. But I agree with you with the blocking your blessing, because it could be beautiful. Like, Keandra, you came from a blended family. I'm sure your stepdad is like, that's amazing. He got to be a part of your life in that way. I find myself dating men with kids all the time. And
oh, really?
I do. Yeah. It just kind of happens that way. But, I've had sometimes it's been really hard and really messy where I've had to be laughing.
I'm laughing.
We be texting too much, too much. But, yeah,
she said that like, girl.
Sometimes it just didn't work out so well. And this was my own personal experience. However, there are times where I believe, it can be a blessing. I don't talk to her all the time, but I'm still in touch with one of my ex's daughters. She done grown up, had a baby. Like, there's all of these things. So it's like, and it's a blessing. She's so sweet. She's amazing. And because at the time, her sister, even though her sister had a different father, I'm a big sister. So it was just so cute to have 2 little girls that just wanted to be a part of my life because I was cool and dating her dad and from LA and all of these things. Like, it really can bless you in many different ways. And I would not like if I had to cut off all this and all that just because somebody said, don't do this, don't do that. We got to go through our own stuff and kind of make up our own minds on how we navigate this, because what one person can tolerate, or like you said, what your auntie went through, that might not be my story, and that just might be it. It might just be that simple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
And I do think there's something to be said. Sorry to cut you off. Like,
No.
I think things, as you mature and as you get older, some of those things change too.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Both people are coming to the table with life, you know what I mean? Like life experiences. And, you know, it's like, I don't know, just some of those expectations that someone has been on the exact straight and narrow, you know, it's unrealistic. And then you realize that some of those things that you were fed really isn't that important, you know, like, so I think it changes, and you as you evolve and as you mature, not that I don't think it's about settling, but I think that you can refine the things that you feel like, you know, this is actually more important than, you know, him having to be a certain height, or, you know what I'm saying, having a certain credit score, or, you know, income, you know, like
I
all
was
of
like, he got to be tall now, girl.